Hey everybody, it's Ginger. So I wanted to do a video on my ego meditation videos. What is ego meditation? Why is she doing this? She's so unusual. What's going on? Well, to be completely honest, I don't entirely know what I'm doing, but I know that it makes me happy. The basic fact that I'm meditating before a camera definitely has elements of ego involved. Webster's defines ego as a person's self-esteem, a person's sense of self-esteem. In psychiatry or psychoanalysis, it's defined as the part of the mind that mediates between conscious and unconscious and is responsible for reality testing and sense of personal identity. And in philosophy, it's defined as a conscious thinking subject. If you are not familiar with Buddhism, Buddhist meditation objectively works to destroy ego or destroy ego consciousness. The ego is the feeling of being separate, it's that aspect of you that identifies as I am. And in Buddhism, it's defined as the destructive element of the soul because it needs negative things and reinforcement in order to exist. So it needs greed, it needs ignorance, it needs hatred. So because the mind has a strong clinging to ego consciousness, things like attachment and desire, anger and hatred, they repeat themselves again and again. If you're not familiar with ego, take a look in the mirror. You have one. I am starting a new meditation practice. I have attempted to have an active meditation practice for nearly 16 years now. And this chapter somehow seems very different. I would definitely say what I'm doing now is the closing of one door and the opening of another, where I've reached a point with myself where I feel that I am genuinely ready to work on my meditation practice. And it is work. As I was saying, the ego needs activity in order to exist. It needs like and dislike, greed and hatred. And in reality, it really depends on desires. Ego meditation, to me, is the practice of addressing those desires, that attachment to the outside world, attachment to wants and needs. And the very basic act that I'm doing it before the camera definitely has elements of ego involved. Now, I've been taught by my teachers to never teach what you don't know, and I think that rings true to all things in life. I've given you my best explanation to date as to what I'm doing. I've also wanted to experiment with my new camera, experiment with new settings of meditation, meditating outdoors, meditating in different environments. I believe that we can reach a higher level of consciousness if we are able to remove ourselves from any moment under any circumstances by practicing meditation. Now, have I reached that point yet? Absolutely not. It's a practice. You have to practice it, and it takes years and years. At least that's what I'm told. It is not something that you accomplish overnight. Now, why I meditate before the camera has a great deal to do with my own experiences with trauma and not feeling safe within my own body. I have learned over time to make certain accommodations, and teachers will tell you this is the ego striving for failure. This is the ego striving for, it needs an action in order to exist and to stay alive. And so my action tends to be anxiety. and I have made certain accommodations for myself in my meditation practice. A friend of mine also had trouble meditating, and she bought a giant teddy bear, and she sits in her giant teddy bear. And I thought that was a wonderful idea because physically she feels secure being embraced by this giant teddy bear. So I got a giant teddy bear. Having the camera present makes me feel like I'm being monitored, whereas in the past when I try to sit down and meditate, I simply couldn't keep my eyes closed to accomplish anything. I would stop and just give up very early on, within minutes really. I've also taken my dog along and made sure that he was there guarding me. And this all goes back to my own experiences with trauma and my own anxiety issues. So that there is my best explanation as to what ego meditation is. It's my meditation practice taking place in front of you. My practice is a focus on removing myself from desires, removing myself from ego. And that really is the extent of my knowledge. Like I said, I don't want to teach what I don't know. This is a new form of practice for me. I've definitely never done something like this before. And I'm finding that, one, I really enjoy it. It really makes me happy. And two, I'm reaching higher places in meditation than I ever have before. And I believe it's mostly because I've made a safe space for my body to be in order to practice meditation. So the very basic fact that I'm doing it in front of a camera is definitely ego-based. However, objectively, I know what my focus is. If you'd like to see more videos, especially my DNA lineage test, which I'm still waiting for the results on, you can check my channel, Ginger Britches, for my ego meditation playlist and my DNA playlist. I am really looking forward to those results, and I hope you are too. So this is Ginger, and I hope you have a really great day. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.